Hello everyone, this is Daryl20, and welcome to episode 96 of Daryl20's Let's Play series, where I'm removing my death points. Yeah, nothing to see here. And I'm about to delve into the mines. So I believe that as a result of finding, the mine door, and also finding the key for the mines, I can now delve a little deeper into here. This key does not fit this lock. So it looks like we're going to need miner's keys, which are a little bit more expensive, and we might have to get into crystallizing some will if we want to make more of these bad boys, which is something we might be doing today. Because crystallized will is definitely a thing that we're going to want to do. So with that said, let's check out what we can at least. Okay, so I guess this is like pretty similar process to the other kind of rooms in that you go mining into or delving into the mines, and then there's different rooms and stuff. Oh no. I'm trying to kill guys with my sword, mostly because oh, there's wither skeletons down there. Look at that. I know I'm going to need more will at some point. Oh my goodness. Nasty looking dudes, too. Luckily, I have this awesome snare bow, which is just the coolest. Can we agree? It's very useful. Now, I'm hearing more bad guys. Where are you coming from? I thought I lit up stuff well enough. Get in the old F7. Okay. Not too shabby. Let's see what we got down here. Good loots? Oh, maybe. I actually don't know. I'll put away this stuff. I don't need you in my inventory right now. How did I even get there? What else we got? Nothing exciting in there. I'm not going to get ores and stuff, because clearly I don't need it. But today's episode is primarily... Look at that. Raw gold block. That's cool. Primarily focused on checking out these mines, possibly getting into the will system, so that we can make more of those keys that we're going to need, obviously. Oh, we got some amethyst shards, demon will, and some corrosive will, and a netherite axe. Not too shabby. It's demonite ore, which I'm still not super sure what it does, but we'll figure it out. I mean, I'm sure there's, like, good stuff, right? In fairness, I think I have, like, a bajillion emeralds, so I probably don't even have to mine those either. Alright, anything else cool in here, or that's about it? That's about it. That's about it for this room. Alright, which way should we go? Straight or left? Go straight. Let's follow the path. Now, this is the last of my miner keys, so we are definitely going to have to go make another one of those pretty soon. Just because I know there's really nowhere else to get these raw demonites. Though I bet I could make a dimension of it with RF tools if I wanted to. I just don't know how much of it I'll need. Man, this is like truly a big mining cave. That's cool. Alright, so that's it for the keys. I am keyless. So it looks like it's time to go home. I would like to be able to set up and get back to this place. What do we have in the pack that lets me just teleport to a spot without any infrastructure? Like, I could set up an RF Tools receiver or something, but I don't really want to do all that. I might look into that real quick. Let's pop home first. I think we've got some advanced stuff from Britannia might be able to let me do it. Isn't there that really cool teleporter mechanic from Britannia? I feel like there is. But let's start with, how do we get the miner keys, right? So this is the dude we want to get today. We need a minimum of 1200 will, which is probably more than my common tartaric can handle. So we're going to need to amp up this common tartaric gem real good. Is there an automated way to get more will? I forget, if I'm being completely honest. Trying to think. Is there a will production ritual or something? Because that would be cool. For now, I'm just killing these witches that are in here. Can witches even kill you? Is that a thing? Or will you only ever get poisoned? I feel like witches can't kill you, right? Alright, so let's look into the book for will and see what we can come up with by way of automating it, because I would like to have lots of will. Well, that's cool. Throwing daggers are neat. Item routing, that's the whole... Yeah, that's actually a pretty neat routing upgrade system. Let me read through this stuff, because I feel like there might be a way to do it, but it's been so long since I've played with the will system that, you know. Alright, so I kind of remember how this works, so I'm going to flip through the book here just to show you what we're going to work on, probably in the next 2 episodes, because it looks like a lot of stuff to set up. And we'll get it going. So first off, you can pour Demon Will into the aura. So what you can do is place a tartaric gem on a Demon Crucible, I believe. And what it'll do is it'll pull the will out of the thing and put raw will into the chunk, or the atmosphere, if you will, but into the chunk. And then you can grow that will into crystals and basically have a net gain on it. And there's rituals we can do to automate it, and all kinds of other cool stuff. So that's what we're going to play with a little bit today. So we want to accumulate it and all that stuff. What you'll also find is there's a whole chapter on will catalysts that talks about how to automate producing will, which is what I want to do. Because A, it'll be fun, and B, it makes for some really cool effects on some of the rituals we have to do in Blood Magic. So let's do that. So first off, we're going to want to get some Demon Will crystals. Yeah. First, you'll need to get will into the aura. Next, you'll need to make a Demon Crystallizer. This will slowly... So I think we want to do Demon Crucible. Okay. I think that's first. And then Blood Magic Crystallizer, I believe that's second. And that's how we're going to get Demon Will crystals. And then eventually we'll be able to get the other 4 kinds of crystals, which we'll talk about in a bit. Okay? So Demon Crucibles is Cauldron, Stone, Lapis, and Diamond. Okay? Cauldron, Stone, Lapis, and Diamond. And these guys with this, excellent. Looking good. Not too shabby. Demon Crucible. Okay. And then the other thing we're going to need is a... What was it called? Something eye? No, maybe I'm wrong. The aura gauge. Yeah. This will show you how much Demon Will is in the chunk. However, you need your first Will Crystal to get it. So first off, let's find a chunk that we're happy to work in. Okay, and what I should probably do is prevent mob spawns in this area. So let's get our Torturinio thingy, Mega Torch. Okay, and I'm just going to put that a couple blocks underground. And for fun, I'm going to put a thing on it so I know where it is, just in case I ever need to move it or something. Okay, cool. So let's find a chunk that we like. This one's a little close to that stuff. So let's call it... What was that? Did something blow up? I have no idea. I thought I heard an explosion. How about this chunk? Does this sound good? I like this chunk. I like this chunk. It's a lovely chunk. Perfect. I even chunk loaded it. And what we're going to want to do is first check how much will we have in here. 639.6. If I pop that on there and then take it off, 539.6. Wow, that was fast. I think it put all 100 will in there already. Wow, so that just poured. So 100 will is the max that you can have in a chunk. And I think it did that super fast. So that's cool. So the next thing we want is a crystallizer. What this will do is it will take the will out of the chunk and turn it into a crystal. So now that you have plenty of demon will in your target gem, it's time to. So what happens first? We put it into the aura, like we just did. So that's done. This whole first page is done. This will slowly consume demon will from the aura to produce will crystals. The first spire will cost 100 will to form, and all subsequent spires cost 40 each, but can be burned for 50 in the demon crucible. So if you think about it, there's a net gain there, right? Cool. For a net gain of 10. The largest crystal cluster can be up to 7 spires. Okay. If you have more than 512 will across your inventory, any number of target gems of any one type, you can harvest the crystals by right-clicking the spire with an empty hand. This will remove all but the central spire. However, you don't have enough will and really need the central spire's crystal, or are just in a hurry, you can harvest crystals of the whole with a pickaxe. Now, what I will also say is there are automated ways to do this with rituals that we will take a look at in a minute. But the next thing we want is the demon will crystallizer. Did I remove that? I did. Smart, Dyer. So I need a Hellfire Forge, stone, glass, and lapis. Okay, so Hellfire Forge, stone, lapis, and glass. Sweet. Whoop, boop. Awesome. And that one needs 500 in your thing, so luckily we had enough. Now we're down to 439, though, because it used 100 of it. Okay. So now, we can't see it yet, but we do know for a fact that there's going to be 100 will in this chunk. So I'm going to pop this here and be like, yo, what up? All right, let's see what happens. So I place this dude down, right? And now I'm curious, 439.6, if I put this in here and then take it out, 439.6. So that's definitely not draining anymore. So that's a thing. Oh, hey, no, we got a raw crystal cluster. Sweet. It worked. Cool. And now we're at 339.32. So what happened is the 100 will, excuse me, sir. The 100 will. Oh my goodness, look how much will we're getting. Turned into that big central cluster. And now it's going to do 40 will per little addition. Cool. And then I'm just going to Cool. So I wish I could tell how much will was in the environment here. I really want to be able to do that. It's a little bit wasteful to do this, but you know what I could do? If I put that in there, I wonder if tick accelerating this would do anything. Where's my time in a bottle? I guess I accidentally put that away before. So we're currently at 336.71. So if I tick accelerated you, or do I need to tick accelerate you? I don't know. Guess we'll find out. But at some point, it should spawn another little thing. Now, what we could also do, because what I've read... Oh, there, we got it. Nice. There's the extra little crystal dude. Cool. So if we have more than 512, we should be able to right-click these. What kind of stuff do I have in here? I just have one that has 54 in it, which is actually a surprisingly large amount. But I don't think we have much else. Although we do have demon will crystals that we found. Well, that's cool. Let's go with that. Let's use that to make our eye thingy. So we're going to need glass, redstone, and gold. Okay. So glass, redstone, and gold. Badoop, badoop, badoop. And we need 400 will minimum. Nah. I'm just going to get my well charged up. All right, so now we're at 616, which is good. How much will this use to make? 50. So we should still be above, what's the magic number? 512? Good. So let's do that. Okay, so Demon Will Aura Gauge will tell us how much Demon Will is in the chunk. See? Top left there? Now if you hold shift, it'll give you a number. So currently there's 26 in the chunk. Now if I right-click this dude, because I have more than 512 on me... Sweet, it worked. I might have to do something about that slime island, because that's going to be super annoying. You think these count as passive mobs? I don't know. Let's get a Mega Torch up there. Isn't there an item that prevents passive mob spawns? The Dread Lamp. Yes. We have unlimited of those, right? So that and a Mega Torch up top might. Be cool. Hopefully between the two of these, that'll prevent slimes from spawning. And that will be less annoying for us. Okay. Beautiful. So again, I can look here and see that there's 20 in there. And if I right-click, I should get a Demon Will Crystal. Nice. Okay, cool. Now, if I remember correctly, it said it needs 45 to grow, right? But maybe it's using it. So actually, if I watch that, let's see what happens when I... That does not seem to be draining any faster. That doesn't really seem... Well, maybe. I think that made a difference, right? The top? Yeah. Now remember, it needs like 45-ish to grow, right? So if I stick this in here... Oh, wow. So this consumes almost instantly. That's cool. Okay. And there's your spire, right? So this consumes almost instantly. Yep. And then this one can grow. Awesome. Awesome. Liking this. Now, if we apply... Let's see, where is it? Let's see. So we can automate the breaking of it and collect them and we can use routing nodes. Feed the excess crystals back into a demon crucible. Totally doable. It's very slow, very, very slow. Even with tick accelerating, it's a little slow, right? So let's speed it up. And we can do that with blood magic, with a very particular mechanic. Raw will catalyst. So Tau oil, which we know how to get, and sulfur and potatoes, with a minimum of 400, but it drains 20, will get me accelerates the growth of will. And then there's a similar one for steadfast. Aha. Okay. So the bottom right item is what's different between all these recipes. So there's 5 different types of will, right? 4 in addition to the base type. So let's do this. I want to work on the base type first. So let's get some Tau oil. Good, we have a bunch of that. And then netherwort. Cool. And then sulfur and potatoes. Okay. And what I'm going to start with is not quite so many. Let's start with 4. And maybe I'll leave. I'm going to forget that I did that. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm going to forget that I did that. There's no way I'm going to remember that I did that. But this will catalyst. Well, holding one of these catalysts, simply right-click on a crystal cluster of the same type to turbocharge its growth. Each catalyst reduces the amount of will required to grow a spire from 45 to just 25, which means instead of getting plus 10, we're now getting plus 25. We're basically doubling. And it speeds up the growth tenfold. Every dose is good for 10 spires worth of growth, which makes a net bonus of 200 will per catalyst. Sweet. You can even double dose your clusters, though this only makes the effect last for 20 growth instead of 10 and has no other benefit. This has replaced one manual problem running around and bopping monsters with a sword with another one running around and bopping crystals with a catalyst. There's a ritual for that tool. Gathering of the Forsaken Souls will automatically apply catalyst to any crystals in its area of effect. With a few farms and a very, very clever routing node setup, you can automate the whole thing top to bottom, but as they say, that's left as an exercise for the reader. So raw will catalyst, totally nifty. So if we take a look, we've got 21 will here, right? I'm going to remove. I may have burned up my 512. I did. Look at that. Okay, cool. Now, can I use this to fill up things? Like, how do I fill this up with this? I don't actually know the answer to that. I really don't. Can I use this to fill up? I know I can drain it. Found it. We place a tartaric gem inside a Hellfire Forge, and it will drain will out of the aura. So if we get another Hellfire Forge here, I knew there had to be a way to do this. I just wasn't sure what it was. And we put it in the chunk, right? So there's currently 8. This dude has 495. Hey, cool. Grabbed it. Sweet. And now there's none. So cool. Okay. We're close to the 512 number we need. Believe it or not, we are surprisingly close to that number. I just need a little bit of will from you guys. Sorry. Hey, didn't I fill that in all the way? You think Endermen are stealing that? Is that a thing that could be happening right now? Is that a thing that could be happening right now? What is up with that? Hey, so now I should be able to right-click this guy. Boom. Get another one of these. I can feed the tartaric gem. So I put it in there. It's at 692. If I do this, it should quickly drain. Nice. That was cool. That was very fast. I like that. I like that. Okay, cool. This is starting to get interesting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a catalyst to this guy. Boom. So he should have a catalyst on him. I'm trying to determine if there's a way to see that and how many uses of it is left. But I bet my old friend Integrated Dynamics could help. What if we got a block reader, and a quick display panel? And we got a value for this thing. Let's clear this out. That should be cool. So a simple block reader. I like knowing how things work. So soon. Tile entity NBT. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So what do we got here? Ticks existed, should tick, true. Speed modifier 10. Injected will 200. Applied conversion rate 25. Placement 1. So watch what happens. Now remember, when I put this in here, it should steal 100. Right? Oh, look at that. That's cool. So we can see the progress. So shortly that progress that progress is 1. So there we go. And then the progress drop, it did. I get it. I see how this works. Let me have this wrench so that I could watch it at the same time. Okay. So watch. When the progress hits 1, it's going to grow another spire. And we can see how much injected will is in there. So it hit 1, and I think it grew another spire. Nice. That's cool. And because I put 100 will into the chunk, we should get 4 spires from that. In theory. In theory. So I assume tick accelerating the crystal itself is the way to go, for sure. That's cool. And look, the will sit there until there's room for it in the chunk. So once it goes below 50 in the chunk is when the will be consumed, see? And now it should spike up to over 100, close to it. Yeah, 90. That's awesome. So now we have a positive feedback loop, right? That's awesome. Now, eventually the injected will disappear, which is fine. That is neato burrito. Right? And then once the injected will disappears, the applied conversion rate goes back to 45. Okay. Not too shabby. And at this point, we can reapply that stuff, and he'll go back up. That's cool. Now, there's rituals to automate all this, as a reminder. There are definitely rituals to automate all this. And I'm pretty sure I could hopper this in here, right? Almost positive that's a thing. No. Yes. Sweet. Okay, cool. And then the best part is that it will sit there inside the crucible, and I guess it only accepts 1 at a time, and it'll just sit there until we drop below 50 will in the chunk, at which point it will consume it. Cool? So not going to use hoppers, but you can see how this is going to be automatable. Right? So when we drop, he's just going to eat up the demon will. And we have, just plus demon will all the time. How cool is that? Okay. Injected will is 0. There we go. And then it's going to burn through it. Okay. I wonder if we can automate the production of this. Doesn't seem too terrible. I mean, even without it, we have a net gain. It's just we have an even better net gain with it. So it's like a nice to have. I don't know if it's a necessary. But we should definitely look at the automation of this process using rituals. And then as a reminder, I can absolutely just throw this in here and he will fill right up. How great is that? So there's more things we need to do. We need to get the other types of will going. We need to automate it with rituals. And all these things will be nice to haves for sure. All right, I don't have my 512 will on me. I'm like, why isn't right click working? Oh, doy. That is cool. That is super cool. And then seeing the values on here is nifty for sure. See? Boom. It was above 1 and then clicked. That's cool. That is super cool. I like it. I definitely like it. Pretty well automated at this point, for sure. All right, so let's do this. It's probably getting close to wrapping up point for the episode. So let's wrap up here. I'm gonna research which rituals I want. We're gonna set them up across possibly multiple chunks, and get it all going. Now remember, the will is always contained within the chunk it's placed in. So if we switch over to this chunk, you'll see no more will. We'll switch over to this chunk and we'll see yes will. Okay. If we go ahead and take a look in the book, though, we'll notice that there is a way to move chunks, or move will between chunks, and that is the demon pylon. Well, draw in all kinds of will from all adjacent chunks, not including diagonals. Multiple pylons can be chained in order to transfer will over larger distances. So if we put a demon pylon in here, it would pull the will out of this chunk and put it into here. I don't know if we're going to do that or not. We'll see. I'm going to see if I can get everything self-contained within one chunk. Should be doable. Should be doable. Now here's another question-ish. If I just make this, is that not how you do that? Oh, you need it minimum 1200. Okay, to get raw crystal clusters. I still haven't quite figured out what those are all about. Because one grew on here, the demon crystallizer. I think I can make them and just place them in the world without crystallizers? Is that what the deal is? The first step is to get some will crystals. We can use any kind, as long as we have 4 of the same kind of crystal. See, we can make these raw crystal clusters. Once you have this cluster, simply place it down in any chunk, supply the chunk with will of the matching type, and wait. Eventually new spires will grow, just like clusters growing atop a demon will crystallizer. Okay. Got it. So basically, we could also make the clusters and go from there. Like we could make we can make this center spire bit, the raw crystal cluster. We can take that and place it anywhere. I think that's how that works. But I'm pretty sure if I broke this with a pickaxe right now, I would just get one of these bad boys. And then we'd have to spend 100 will to get him recharged. So I'm going to hold off on that. What I would like to do maybe is upgrade this to a higher tier gem, like the greater one. That's going to need another weak blood shard, which is going to need another Tau dude. Not that that's hard to get, but we could probably knock this out real quick. I think you went into here. Is this all there was to it? Yeah. Sweet. Okay. So then you go in with a demonic slate and any will crystal. Oops. Demonic slate, any will crystal, and this tier of gem. Am I crazy? Oh, there we go. I'm just going to borrow one of you. So if I leave that chunk running, in theory, that crystal will eventually grow to max size, but we're not auto-harvesting it yet. But once we are, we basically have unlimited will, which is cool. It's a fun automation challenge, which is where, you know, I want to be. So let's drain that into that. And now we have the max-sized tartaric gem, which can hold 4096 will, for the record. And I can still charge that up in here. How cool is that? I don't want to drain all the will out of the chunk, though, because, you know, I still want to use it for growing stuff. And let me throw in this last will catalyst, which is cool. As a reminder, you can put 2 catalysts on at once, and I guess that'll bring the injected will up to 400-ish. Cool, right? Okay, so let's wrap up here. Double20 sign off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. We're coming back next time to get the other types of crystals and to fully automate this process as much as we can. For now, Double20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.